So the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 is out, and the phone, the B, is actually very nice and it's very good. But the truth of the matter is that it's not for me and you. You want to know the reason why. Voila. So today we're going to be talking about a phone that is actually very popular. So last year, after 2019, right, the top 3 most sold phones were this series of phones. In fact, I'm willing to bet that 50% of users watching this video right now are using this phone. So what phone am I talking about? Is the Samsung Galaxy A series. So today we're going to see why so many people are using it and it sold so many units. I'm Michelle Manuel and welcome to Tech Haven. So let me just start by saying that this review is going to be a consumer-based one. What I mean by that is, the best way to do this review is to get people who have actually used this phone to be able to talk about it. So I sent a couple of my friends who use this series of phones a couple of questions, right? And then based on their answers, you're going to analyze and see whether the phone is right for you. So Samsung has 2 categories of phones. The very expensive one for the big boys and the affordable ones for the ones like you and me. Now, the big boys usually have a preface. So if you see any Samsung phone that is Galaxy S10, Galaxy S9, S8 or Galaxy Note 10, Galaxy Note 9, Note 8, the Notes and the S, they signify the big boys. So they have the big specs and they have the big money. They are very expensive. Now, when we come to the A series, they are the ones for you and me. So they just have A51, A50, A30, and so on and so forth. So when you're talking about this phone, the first thing to talk about is actually the price. Now, I believe this is the marketing strategy Samsung opted for. Because looking at the price, every A series phone starts around 800 Ghana cedis to about 2,000 Ghana cedis. And for the price, there is not many phones that actually provide the value these phones provide. So someone may ask, why am I combining all these series of phones into one video? And my answer to that is, all of the A series phones actually have the same characteristics. So a pitfall of one of the phones will most likely be the pitfall for the others. So since there is no much difference between the individual models, it seemed alright for me to combine all of them into one single video. So as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I asked some of my friends a couple of questions, and based on their answers, we are going to formulate an analysis and see whether the phone is right for you. So our guests for today are Nai, Sandra, Philip, Idris, Karen, and Abna. The first question I asked them is, how is the phone's display?
About the brightness, it depends on where you are. It's adjustable. Like, it adjusts itself depending on where you are. But when you're in the sun, because there's already too much light outside, it becomes a bit hard to see stuff from the phone. And yeah. And about the colors on the phone, I don't know, I feel it's not so perfect. It's not so perfect, but I can't pinpoint whatever it is exactly, but then it's not so perfect. I don't know, I feel
So the display is one of the best features of the phone. The day I got the phone, I turned it was dark, so I was in a car, it was dark. When I turned the screen on, like, you could just feel it was a Samsung screen. It's an OLED, it's no technical terms, I'm not going to mention that, but it's quite wide, as you can see. So I think the screen is fine, it's vibrant. You won't have any problems using it like in broad daylight. You can make things out of it. You can see everything clear.
Well, the screen is larger than the phone I was using before. It makes you can see like the details of your pictures very well. It's great. I like the screen.
So the screen the size is great. I like the size. It's big enough for me. I like the way it's big and wide enough, and the touch is very responsive. Sometimes it's too sensitive. Other times it takes time. I don't know, for particular, like my Snapchat. Whenever I get a notification, I try to tap from the notification bar. It doesn't respond.
So Philip said he was coming from an old phone, so this phone is just good enough for him. And Karen also said it's bright enough for her. So what are my thoughts on the A series display? I think what they said is actually right. The display of the A series would probably be one of the best in the industry. Why? Because Samsung makes the best displays on the smartphone market. In fact, they make displays for iPhones, for Pixels, for OnePlus, and most of the phones you have actually seen around, most likely the display is made by Samsung. So being the manufacturer themselves, of course they will know how to make good displays, and of course their phones will have the best displays on the market. So for that price point, I don't think there's any phone display that will probably beat the A series. So for the Samsung Galaxy A series, the display would be okay, and it's actually one selling point of the Samsung A series. The next question I asked them was, how was the battery?
Okay, my phone's battery is very strong because when I think mainly because when I got it was brand new, no one had ever handled it, or the first owner. So yeah, the battery is very strong, and also because I use the original charger, I think, because I can have like 50% and I can take it to class, and then I use my phone a lot. I can use it throughout the day. It wouldn't run down.
How is the battery? I think the battery is it's not bad. When I got it first, I could get close to 11. I think I could get 11 hours, but then eventually it started getting bad, and now I can only get like 5 hours, something like that. So I think overall the battery is good for the price. I'm not going to mention any technical in terms of watt or anything, but then just an average user, I think the battery is fine.
I wouldn't say the battery is like great, but at least it is way better than Samsung SS Edge. I was using Samsung SS Edge before I got this one, so as compared to that one, this is way better.
For me, the battery is good actually. In times past, my Samsung phone, over time, the strength of the battery weakens. But with this one, it's still good. I can go a whole day without charging my phone.
So Philip responded, the battery is fairly good. I'm a heavy user, so that should tell you how good it is. And Karen said she gets about 4 hours of use, which in her use case scenario is good enough for her. The next question I asked them was, how was the feel of the phone in the hand?
It actually feels premium. So the back, Samsung calls it plastic or something. So it's actually plastic, but then it feels like glass. So you have this premium feel to the phone, but the weight doesn't actually reflect premium. But yeah, I think the feel is okay. The screen is fine. Like what's the name? Scrolling, everything. I think it's cool.
It's not too heavy and it's not too light either, and because it doesn't have the curvy surface like the S6 Edge, it's not slippery. I used to drop that phone a lot, so I think this is way better because the screen is just straight and it's easy to handle.
Like I said earlier, the phone is not too big, neither is it too small, so it's just an okay size in the hand. It's okay. It's fine. It's okay. Not too bulky, not too small. It's just okay. It's sleeky.
And for that, Philip responded that the phone is very slippery, and without using the case, you probably might slip it and make it fall a lot of times, as he has done in his use case scenario. And one of the most important questions I asked them, of course, is how is the camera?
Hey, that's one thing that, to be very honest, I am not so happy about. I'm not so happy about because the camera switches up. It's like sometimes it looks so perfect, and I feel like I can take a picture. I'm like, oh my god, did I take this picture on my phone? Like, did I actually take this with my phone? That kind of thing. Sometimes you take a picture and you're like, but I realized when you take a picture in the sun, it's better. It's much better. But when you take it inside, forget. And it said the other day, let me not say anything before any company sues me.
Okay, so the camera, I think the camera is also great. It takes really nice pictures at night, during the day, takes nice videos and everything. So I think the camera too is great.
Regarding the camera, I'm not a camera person, so I don't really use it, but I think it's manageable for the price. You can take decent pictures. If you are not sure about taking pictures, you can check one of our videos from the side, which talks about how to take pictures regardless of your camera. I think it's a good video to watch for this.
The camera is okay. It was great when I first got it, but now it's okay. And that's a problem I've had with all my phones actually. When I get it fresh, the camera is great, but as time goes on, the quality reduces. I don't know why.
So Karen responded that the camera could be better. I was impressed at the start, but now it's like every other Samsung phone. And you can see some similarity between Karen and Abner's speech. And I feel like they're experiencing what I like to call novelty syndrome. So you know when you get a new gadget and you decide to explore it, everything looks cool and new and everything looks nice. But then after you use it for a while, it wears off on you and you don't feel the novelty again. So I think that's what Karen and Abner were experiencing in their phone. And the camera is one controversial topic about the A series, which we'll get to in the end of the video. And Philip also responded that for him, he doesn't take a lot of pictures, so the camera is good enough for him. The next question I asked them was, what feature would you like on your phone that isn't inside already?
A better camera. That is what I wish my phone had.
I wish this phone would not overheat like it is overheating right now. I don't know why, but all the Samsung phones I've used has this problem. It's always overheating, like it feels so hot sometimes. You think it's going to blow up or something.
Actually, nothing, because when I was buying it, I did my research before buying it. I knew I was going for a mid-range phone, not a flagship phone, so I wasn't really looking for anything maybe except the screen, because I had other options. I was looking at Huawei too, but I think the screen won me.
I really wish I could screen record. Yes. And I wish the phone had a bigger storage, internal storage. Yes.
And for that, Karen responded, a better camera. And Philip said he wants a high refresh rate. Now, if you don't know what high refresh rate is, I'll link it to one of the corners above. I talked about displays and how refresh rate affects the look and feel of using your phone. And finally, I asked them what are their overall thoughts on the phone.
I almost forgot something about how it feels in the hand. See, if you have Samsung A50, you need a cover, else you spoil the phone, because the back is so smooth and that it can easily fall from your hand. So if you're using Samsung A50, I'd advise you get a cover. And plus, the phone already comes with two covers. Yeah, it already comes with two covers. You can just use either of it. My overall thoughts about the phone, the price is worth it, because having a phone for like 1,500 and then with a memory of like 128, with everything working perfectly except for the camera, that personally I'm not so happy about, but some people will be okay with it. Me, I'm not so happy about it. So I think it's okay. The price is okay. It's worth it, and then it's fine. It's a good phone.
And my overall thought, I think Samsung created a perfect phone for this price range. You don't get a phone this good. So let's just at the A50. The A50 is like the balance in the A series somehow, because the A70, I think if you are going to buy an A70, then it's better you just add something to buy an actual flagship, maybe the previous year flagship or something. But for the A50, I think my thought on it is it's worth the price. Everything works as you expect, but obviously it's a mid-range phone, so there are some things you have to sacrifice.
I think the phone is good. It was great at the beginning, but like for the past month or two, I've been having problems with the internal storage. Yes, and a few glitches here and there, but it still works fine. It hasn't slowed down. It's still great. The feel is still good, and I still love my phone, but I wish I could change things about it.
Okay, Samsung Galaxy A50. Okay, I think the phone is great. It has nice display. It's easy to hold. The camera too is good. Yeah, so I think it's great. It's a great phone. Yeah.
And for that, Philip responded, the phone has value for its money, but then the performance depreciates over time. So the user should bear in mind that. And I think that's a very solid point, which you also get to in the end of the video. And Karen said that what she doesn't like about the phone at all is that it doesn't have accessories. Now she said she went around looking for some cases and some screen protectors for her phone, but she didn't get some. And I think the reason for that is There are so many A series phones that when you go to the store and you're looking for one particular one for that model you're using, you probably find a hard time finding it, unless it's one of the very popular ones like the A50 or the A70. So what are my thoughts on the Samsung A series? Now, Samsung advertises this phone on 3 main value propositions, which they bundled into a video, an ad as you may call it.
Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life.
So from the video, you realize that they said 3 things: awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, awesome camera, long-lasting battery life. Awesome screen, which I've already established is good. Awesome camera, long-lasting battery life, which is also established that is very good. So who is this phone for? If you like taking pictures like Sandra, you should know that the A series isn't really meant for you. Now, the A series will be good enough for most people, but if you are very particular about cameras and you like taking snaps and you are very particular about the way it looks and stuff, you want to come into the stand and post a sun-kissed picture, you have to get another phone. So if your priority is camera and you like taking pictures a lot, try and look for these cheaper models and avoid the A series. However, if you don't really take a lot of pictures like Philip, then you know that the phone is almost perfect for you and it should be able to take pictures that you probably admire. Now, if you plan on using the phone for more than 2 years, I advise that you skip the A series. Now, the reason I say that is the A series comes with a less powerful processor. Now, if you want to use a phone for a long time, you need a powerful processor that will be able to go through the years, because bear in mind, every year new software updates come for the different applications. You realize that WhatsApp releases a software update, Instagram would, and most of the apps you use on the phone would. Now, these new updates would like to take advantage of the new chips that will come in that year. So if you're using an old phone and the old phone was not using the most powerful chip of that year, you probably fall into some pitfalls and realize the phone will start getting slow, and generally when you're using the phone scrolling, you see it to be lagging and the experience will be terrible after 2 years. So if you know you're going to be using the phone for more than 4 years, I advise that you go in for a flagship phone or a flagship of the previous year. So getting something like an S10 or an S9 will probably last you longer than an A series from this year or last year. Now, if you're part of the category that doesn't care about anything I said today in this video, then I think the A series is perfect for you, because you don't really care about the camera. Now, performance is not really a priority to you. You just want the phone that looks nice, can make calls, access the internet, and send your friend that WhatsApp message. Then the A series is perfect for you. You don't have any problem. I advise that you can go and buy it right now. However, as I mentioned, if you are a camera freak or a camera fanatic, then you know that the A series is not for you. Probably should go in for an older iPhone or a Pixel or a phone of that caliber. And if you want to use the phone for more than 2 years, like 3 or 5 years, then you know that you can skip the A series phone. However, if you are not in these two categories, I advise that the A series is perfect for you and you can go in for those ones. So on that note, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, click the subscribe button, and share with your friends and family who are actually looking for a new phone, and I hope this video would be helpful to them. So until next time, I'll see you guys. Bye bye.